Your righteousness shall go before you. The glory of the Lord shall be your rear guard. Then you shall call, and the Lord will answer. And you shall cry, and he will say, Here I am. If you take away the yoke from your midst, the pointing of the finger and the speaking of wickedness, if you pour yourself out for the hungry and satisfy the desire of the afflicted, then shall your light rise into darkness, and your gloom be as the noonday.
And I'm here in the park because I feel oppressed. I've been oppressed all my life, and the state of society and humanity right now, my heart is broken. I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of watching people suffer around me, and I'm sick of tired of suffering. I'm hungry. My friends, my family, they're hungry. And I will stay here as long as it takes in order to make the change that we need to see. We need to come together and stop fighting each other and focusing on our differences. We need to come together as one people and be one, and form that solidarity and be the movement. Now is the time for change. Now is the time for revolution. Now is the time to make a difference instead of waiting for it to come to us, because there is something coming. And I don't know what that is, but I want to be prepared for it. And I want us all to be prepared for it. Thank you.
And next we have Zach Fabian.
My name is Zach Fabian. Fabian, Fabian. What I think this is really about is you almost need to ask yourself, what kind of world do you want to live in? Like, what kind of world do you want your kids to grow up in? What kind of world do we want to build together? I feel like we've reached a kind of point in our history where many people are feeling kind of complacent. They're not really ready to talk about or even address the issues that are really troubling most of the people in this country. And those people that are being oppressed right now, they almost don't have a voice anymore. A democracy is dependent on everyone having a voice, everyone having a say, everyone participating. It doesn't really make sense if there's one minority group that is in control, that is like directing everyone's life. And so what I really want to ask you is, how involved can you be? You know, like what we're doing here, and I get the question, like, what are you guys doing here, camping out? And you know, what we're really doing is just doing something. You know, we all have this feeling that something is wrong, that there are many things wrong. You know, what that is depends on each person. Like, everyone here is from, you know, they have a different life, they grew up differently, have different socioeconomic backgrounds. And that's really what makes this great. That's what gives credit to this, is that it's not just one small group of people. Like, we are the people. This is everyone. We're all experiencing the same world. And we really need to bond for this to, you know, get anywhere. I feel like what happened in my experience is that, like, I grew up without a community. You know, I was educated, and I was just, well, what's the importance of all this? You know, I live in this spot, and I don't really know any of the people that I live around. And so what we're doing here is really just having that dialogue, bringing all the groups together and discussing, like, what is going on, what's happening in your life. And that's really what's important, is that dialogue. Because it's so easy to just go through your life with blinders on and not even know what anyone else is experiencing, you know, that lives right next door to you. And the truth of the matter is, people are suffering, and they really are. And that's just on like this local level. On the grander scheme, people are still suffering. Like, people are at the whim of this very small group that are benefiting, and we call that the 1%. And you know, in the 80s, and this is just me, we had a policy of deregulation, which I feel kind of got us into this sort of predicament. And you know, you're entitled to your opinion, but I feel like government is there to protect the people. And somewhere along the way, the government stopped protecting us. And if the government's not going to do it, I feel like we need to protect ourselves.
That was Zach Fabian, and now we have Bailey.
Hi, my name is Bailey Elizabeth, Bailey-Elizabeth. I didn't really come here with a prepared statement. There's been a lot of questions about what we're doing here exactly and how we think we're going to change things. And I want to tell you why I'm here. And the reason that I'm here is because this greed and this level of corruption that we have within our society has directly affected my life. My dad lost his job and shot himself at work. My mom became physically disabled from her factory job, and when she filed for disability, lost all of her benefits and had to sue the company she worked for to be able to get any of the return. My brother worked for DuPont. He became disabled. He applied for disability. 10 days later, he was laid off. This is my family. This is my life. I work 2 jobs, and I'm homeless. I'm 31 years old. I'm a GED recipient. I'm nobody special. I'm just like anybody else that has an opinion. And what I want for people to know about what we're doing here is that we're trying to provide a space for people who are in need, and also we're trying to stand up and say that we're sick of what's happening in this country, and we're sick of what's happening in the world. And the problems that we have within this space are a direct reflection on the problems of society. We have mentally ill, drug addicts, alcoholics, doctors, lawyers, nurses, factory workers, homeless people, like everybody that you can think of, every different type of person that you can imagine has been participating in this. And we need more people to participate. For this to be a truly democratic process, we need the public with us. We need people that care about these things to be here, to affect the process in which we're moving, to have their voices heard so that we can more fairly represent the 99%.